Welcome back, friends. Today we are making a Sazerac. So a Sazerac is a close cousin to the Old Fashioned. It is the undisputed king of New Orleans cocktails. Sure, more people know the Hurricane, but at the end of the day, the Sazerac is, like I said, it is a New Orleans classic. It is it's been drank in one form or another since the 1830s. So kind of gives you an idea about that. And the original Sazerac actually was a brandy-based drink. There was an epidemic in the 1880s that wiped out the grape crop. And at that point is when they switched over to rye instead of brandy. So it's actually kind of the universe kind of worked into place, kind of made everything fall into place for this amazing cocktail. In the 1900s, actually, the Sazerac company, which the Sazerac company owns Peychaud bitters, they own a brand of bourbon and rye, Sazerac. They actually trademarked the name Sazerac for this cocktail. And like I said, it's one of these where it is the undisputed, king of New Orleans cocktails. It's classic. It's unique. If you see it in a bar, I highly recommend ordering it. Something unique about the Sazerac as opposed to other cocktails is that, or I should say other whiskey cocktails or other members of this old-fashioned style, old-fashioned-esque family, is that this takes a rinse, right? Rinse isn't unknown. We actually briefly discussed the rinse when we were talking about martinis, when we were talking about the different levels of dryness or wetness in martinis. A rinse is basically when you take a small amount of alcohol, you rinse the glass with it, and then you dispose of it. Here we're going to be rinsing our glass with absinthe. And absinthe is I don't even know how to describe absinthe. Absinthe is an anise-flavored alcohol. There's various brands on the market. Today we are using absinthe. It's a French absinthe. Very strong. At one point in time, it was banned in the United States because it had wormwood, which was a hallucinogen slash poison. This still says it has wormwood, but I assume it's that now. Wormwood is no longer hallucinogenic slash poisonous. I don't know. I'll do a little bit more research in absinthe later on in the channel. Other ingredient here is bitters. Now, unlike the old-fashioned that we use the aromatic bitters, here we're going to use a specific brand of bitters called Peychaud bitters. Peychaud bitters were also a New Orleans classic. I want to say he was Haitian. He might have just been Creole, but I'm fairly certain he was a Haitian apothecary. And he developed this tonic that was supposed to be used to cure what ails you. And as time passed, they realized, yeah, this doesn't really do anything for health, but it does make drinks taste good. So we might as well use it. And it's the secondary ingredient, or I should say it's the supporting ingredient after the rye whiskey. So let's go ahead and build this cocktail. We're going to start off, much like we do with the martinis, by chilling our glass. Usually when we make these old-fashioned type cocktails, we're not chilling the lowball. We're usually just pouring right into the mixing glass. And we're just going to chill that with a king cube. But here, we're actually going to dump that ice. I got to run away. We're going to dump that ice and serve it neat. Or not neat, but chilled, but in a chilled glass. So I'll start off by adding. I messed up. Hold on 1 second. We're going to do this. Lost another cube. All right, we're actually going to start off. So we got the glass chilling. We're going to start off by adding our sugar cube to the mixing glass. Let me get all this out of the way so you guys can see. All right, so we got our mixing glass, we got a sugar cube. We're going to add a splash, basically a bar spoon of water. just to kind of help that dissolve. And then we're going to add 4 dashes of our Peychaud bitters. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we're going to muddle that until it dissolves. It's getting a lot easier. When I made the gin old fashioned the other day, I really struggled getting that sugar dissolving. And here, number 1, the sugar cube instantly broke down. And number 2, I'm going to stir it up now. And I'm going to see it dissolve fairly quickly. Yeah, you can see it almost. So we'll go ahead and add our bourbon now. We're going to, excuse me, our rye. We're going to add 2.5. So we're adding 2.5 parts of rye whiskey. Alright. There we go. Look at that. Perfectly dissolved. We're good to go now. It's got a beautiful color to it. Actually, its color is somewhat close to the color of the gin old fashioned. If you guys haven't checked that out, it's a fun video just because not something you're used to, right? It's something very different than what you usually drink when it comes to the old fashioned. All right, so now we are going to go ahead and add back our ice to chill this out. Now we're going to stir that for about 30 seconds or so, just until we get it nice and chilled, nice and combined. All right, so we are good to go there. So we're going to go ahead and scoot this over. All right, now we're going to dump out the ice from our rocks glass. And we're going to add about 1/4 ounce of absinthe to our glass. We're just going to kind of get a quick swirl. Oh, we lost some. That's not good. All right. This can also be achieved if you have an atomizer by basically just spritzing the glass lightly. Yeah, it's got that anise scent. Go ahead and dump that out. All right, I'll go ahead and strain this into our glass. And now we're going to garnish with a piece of lemon peel. There we go. Got a decent piece there. Let's see if we can actually get it to spritz. Oh, we got a nice express there. All right, we'll pass that around, and beautiful. So this is a Sazerac. Cheers. And this is exactly what I remember. So what I love about this cocktail is that it has a lot of prominent flavors, and somehow they all take a supporting role in to the bourbon. So you have the anise from the absinthe. The Peychaud bitters also has that a strong anise type flavor, and yet both of them combined, and I don't know if it's because the sugar deadens everything out, mellows everything out, but it actually kind of just comes across really nice. Have basically just these supporting flavors that actually kind of bring out the flavor of the rye. The rye is not as spicy as rye usually is. Yeah, this is classic. This is something where it's like, this is the reason why it is the king of New Orleans cocktails. I enjoy this whenever I can get this. I will say I've found a lot of locations that when they make the Sazerac, I don't know if it's because of the fact that they want to charge you, so they make it absinthe heavy. Um, it's not bad, but it's also not. When I've had, what I've been. Let me rephrase that. Where I was going with this, there's nothing wrong with an absinthe heavy Sazerac. But considering that this is like the classic specs, this is the way that the cocktail was meant to be made, it comes across a lot easier. It's a lot lighter. It's a lot easier to drink. It's not so much in your face. And like I said, I don't know if it's that bars are trying to justify, oh, well, there's absinthe in this. There's all these, niche ingredients. So obviously, we can justify paying, or charging you for, $20 a drink. I don't know. I feel that lighter actually is the way to go with this. Yeah, guys, if you make this, let me know what you think. Comment down below, like and subscribe. I'm gonna finish this off screen. I'm actually gonna, before I hang up on this, I'm actually gonna pass this up to you guys so you can actually see how light this color is, because it gives us this beautiful orangish color that I really think is something that you need to appreciate. And then the other thing I meant to say, and I completely forgot, citrus. I've seen places that serve the Sazerac with an orange instead of a lemon. The lemon brightens it up. It's not, the orange is fine, but there's something about the lemon peel that actually gives it a better flavor. And like I said, it freshens it. It brightens up all the flavors. And I've seen places that they'll serve it in the goblet, like the little mini goblet, instead of serving it in a rocks glass. I don't have. Obviously, like I've said before, I live in an apartment. I have limited space. I don't think I would ever own little goblets as well. But if you're into glassware, that might be your thing. But ultimately, rocks glass works perfectly for this. I feel that, especially if you chill it well, it's going to retain the cold for a longer period of time. Not that you're going to have this for a long period of time because it's very easy to drink. But either way, guys, like and subscribe. Like I said, let me show you what this looks like real quick, and then I'm going to finish this off camera. So have a good night.